So before this video even starts, I'm just gonna say, if you came here just to net deck a meta Ahsha list, there it is. Because this video is not going to be going over this deck. The deck I'm going to be going over today is going to be a Bloom list. So if you just came here just to net deck a meta Ahsha list, here it is. I'm not going to spend my time going over this. I think this is quite simple. Not a whole lot of changes. All it really changes is you threw in 2 Selfinas, change the Pias for Idets, and swap your main ride to the new Ahsha. So that's this list. So anyways, what is up guys, Zero here, and today we are here to take a look at Bloom Ahsha. So like I said earlier, this is a Bloom focused list. This is not the meta list. I think this list is definitely worse than the meta list, just playing Lost Memory. But this is a list for Bloom, and it is honestly more fun to play than just Lost Memory, Jingle Thuria. But yeah, so without further ado, here is the list. So as you can see, actually quite a bit of differences to the more meta Ahsha list. So we'll start. We'll go from top bottom as per usual. So starter is still the Maiden Facilius. As it loads, when it boosts, deck hits the Vanguard, put the soul, check top 5, call a card from among them as rest. So you still need this to help you dig for pieces, so still no reason not to play this. And then grade 1 for Stride Fodder. Again, Stride Fodder, you need to stride, you need to switch your ride. So for this, for the Bloom PG, this PG is honestly not that good, but because this PG has Bloom keyword, for this deck specifically, you do need to play it. So this card does get binded when you actually use it to PG, so that really sucks. You can't recycle it. But the actual skill is GB1 Bloom. So when something with her name is placed on board, you can CB1 and bounce it back to hand. So for example, if you you could call this onto the board off of Ahsha Stride bonus, and then call another copy of that to bounce this one back to hand. Then you could call down a Thuria, and then this one, and then when you call off that would proc, and that would also back to hand. So you can do stuff like that. But the main reason why this card you need to play the Bloom PG specifically is because we're playing the Inverno. Inverno is the reason to play this PG, so that's why we're playing it. So for this, 4 of the new, honestly probably the best grade one for this deck, the Audette. Its skill is Bloom. When something with the same name as this card is placed on board, if your Vanguard's grade 3 or higher, choose 2 units and give them plus 4k, So basically, when you play out more copies of yourself, you play on Thuria, while Thuria's in the name copying is live, you can make everything really big. If you ever use this card on a Primavera turn, you'll know how much fucking prompts you will get from this. So there's that. This card's really good. And then her GB1 is at the start of your main phase, if your Vanguard is a Ranunculus, so Ahsha, you can return a unit from your drops, a non-trigger unit from your drop zone, or actually no, a grade 1 or higher unit. Oh wait, no, yeah, I'm pretty sure just basically it returns a non-trigger unit from your drop back to your deck to bounce it back to hand. So can help you recycle your pieces, and then it's a booster that gets really big. So very good card, and in my opinion, just the better Pia. And then finally, the one of I don't know her name either, but her skill is Bloom. When something with the same name as her is placed on board, you can Soul Blast 1, rest her, CC 1, and then give 2 units plus 4. And then when unit attacks a van, if your Vanguard's Ranunculus plus 2. So this second skill doesn't matter at all. But the first skill is there. You can CC with it. It does work because when you call a Thuria, this card does proc because Thuria copies her name, and then same name is placed, yada yada. So this card's this is just a one of. One reason I'm playing it because it has a Bloom keyword. Because the Ilmatar does check for does need you to have Bloom cards on board. And so I still want Bloom cards on board for that, just because of that. So that's what this one of is. Just this card is probably the best one of in my opinion that has the Bloom keyword in it. So yeah, so that's the one of, and that's it for the grade 1. Grade 2s, we're still doing the standard Gladiolus Thuria lineup. I'm not gonna go over these cards. These cards have been here forever. But yeah, these cards are very good. No reason not to play these. Gladius remains standard. Thuria is still the card that runs the entire deck. So definitely no reason not to play less of these. And then next off, we're playing the 1 Hydrangea Knight. His skill is once per turn when another copy of itself is placed on board. So since this is a one of Thuria, this unit gets plus 3, and on hit the van you can call a card from your deck with the same name as one of your rears. So if you hit with this, you can call whatever you have in your back row, but more often than not, you're probably just calling another Thuria over to extend with. So one of him. This card's actually pretty good. Only issue that he's an 8k base, that really sucks. But other than that, this card's pretty good, and if you really wanted more cards with Bloom keyword in the deck, you can cut down on Gladiolus for this card, but I think Gladi's still a better card overall, so that's why I'm playing one of him. But this card is definitely a very good one up. And finally, we're playing 4 of the Sunflower duo. I don't know their names. I honestly just ended up calling them the yellow people, her and her. But for more professional sake, I'll call them the Sunflower duo. But the grade 2 skill is Bloom when something with the same name as it is placed. I think all your units with her name get plus 1k per rear that you have, something like that. And then rear and deck this unit also has the same name as the grade 3. So for example, if you had this on board and you use, for example, or you call this off of Ahsha Try bonus, when you call this, you have the option to call either her or the grade 3, because when it's on board, this card has this card's name. So very good there. And that skill is also very relevant for the grade 3's effect, which I guess I'll go over now because we're going with grade 3's anyways. But sure, she has a banned skill, irrelevant. We're not going to go over that because we never want to be on her. She has a banned rear skill where once per turn, when another copy of her is placed on the board, you can give that unit plus 3k. And then if the card that you gave the power to is the grade 2, that card gets the ability on hit draw 1. So basically how this works is you call down the grade 3 and then you call down the grade 2 after that, and then use the grade 3 skill to give the extra 3k to the grade 2, so that the grade 2 gets the 3k and the effect on hit draw 1. So that's the little gimmick here. So the Sunflower duo is pretty cool there. But also if you just if you already have both of these on board, and then you call a Thuria, this card's prompt will activate because Thuria will have the grade 2 and the grade 3's name. And if you give this skill to the Thuria, it also lets you draw cards. So there's some interesting to note there. But I think the main thing you need to know about this card is that because this card's skill does not have a cost on it, the instant you plop down another copy of either the grade 3 or the grade 2, the skill will prompt and you will not have a choice. You will not have a choice of activating or not. So you need to make sure that when you prompt this card's skill, that you have at least one copy of the grade 2 on the board to make sure you have something you can give the skill to that can actually draw. So usually what the play line here is let's just say that everything in your hand, you don't have anything else to you have none of these cards on board. On your first stride, that you let's just say you have the grade 2 in hand, you would call the grade 2 and then you use stride bonus to call the grade 3, and then usually in the back row somewhere, and then you use Selfina, because Selfina is still your first stride. You'd use Selfina to target either the 2 or the 3 for the power, and then you'd call another copy of the grade 3. The grade 3 skill would prompt, and then you select the grade 2 to let it draw 1, to give it on hit draw 1, and then from your hand you'd usually call down another copy of either the grade 2 or the Thuria, because when Thuria is placed, they'll gain on the names and it'll trigger the grade 3 anyways. And then the second one you'll call, you give to the same grade 2, and then that grade 2 will now have on hit draw 2. So that's usually line there. I'm sure in my video, I'm sure in the gameplay after it will show that off. But yeah, so that's just the general line of play there. And then other grade 3s are just the 2 Ahshas. So she has Bloom, and she just does more than the Ahsha. So you play this Ahsha instead. Her skill GB2. When something on the same name as her is placed, Soul Charge 1 CC 1. At the end of your turn, you can call a card from your hand to rear, and then on stride, you can Soul Blast 1 CB 1. Call a card from hand, and then you can call up to one card from hand, and then you can call a card from the deck same name as one of your rears, and then the unit you call gets boost. So that's like the little bonus there. Before the old Ahsha only just gave +2, I think. This one gives the card you called boost. That's pretty cool. So yeah, very nice. And then at the end of your turn, you can use the second skill here to prompt the first skill by calling a Thuria down if you just wanted to CC there. So pretty cool there. So yeah, this Ahsha is definitely your new best ride. So that's why you play Forfeit. And then the last one is just the one Ahsha, just one filler, just the 5th ride in case you happen to draw into this one. So yeah, that's just there. So yeah, that's it for grade 3s. And for strides, so before I even get to all the cards, you'll see I'm playing a full set of Dream Spinning. I think that these last one pair, I think that one of these pairs could be anything else that you want, because the Ilmatar is can basically act as your second pair of Dream Spinning. But I personally just want to play that a little more aggressively. But I definitely think these last 2 pairs can be whatever you want. You can throw in like a Harmonix and Arborea. You can throw in another pair of Ilmatars. You can throw in an extra pair of Jingle Flowers. Whatever you want. I just have 4 Dream Spinnings here because I like the fact that it's free. But yeah, these 2 last slots could be anything you want. So just the note there. And then I guess we'll go from the old cards first. So Jingle Flower. I'm not gonna go over this. Jingle Flower, Thuria, really big number of their points turn. Primavera, this is now your best finisher for any Neo Nectar deck now, because with the Audette, your columns get really big. If they're at 5, your opponent is being instantly asked for 3 PGs on the spot from if you can just have 3 as an Audette setup. So very powerful finisher there. This card actually got a change in the most recent update on JP. The card still basically functions the same way, but the card now reads on the unit attacks event, you can CV2 as the cost, and then you can return up to 5 normal units from your drop to your deck. And then if you return to 5, you can choose 2 rears and then call 2 cards with those names up to 4 from your deck. So it calls 4 cards. Usually you just end up calling like Thuria, and then like Audettes. But basically what got changed here from this update, from the last update, is that before the return 5 was part of the cost of this card, now that return 5 is no longer part of the cost, and you can choose to return less than 5, but if you return less than 5, you do not get to call anything because you need to return 5 to call. So basically what this card says is that if for whatever reason you are risking deck out, you can use this card to go on attack, CV2, return like, let's just say 4 back to the deck, just to return 4 back to the deck. You don't get anything else out of it, so yeah, that's a change, I guess, and it is a change that probably won't matter, but it is there in case you are going to deck out for whatever reason. So yeah, that's that. Dream Spinning, your farmer gets plus 5k at start of your battle phase if you have same names, I think, and then GB2 once per turn, G flip, choose a card, call a card from your deck with the same name as that unit, give it plus 2k attack on the back row. So free back row attacker, pretty nice there. 2 Ilmatars, so GB2 once per turn, CB1 and G flip to draw 1 and then give one of your units with Bloom the following ability. When this unit attacks hits a Vanguard, draw 1, or a unit, choose a unit with Bloom and then all units with that card's name get the following ability. On hit to Van, draw 1. Then at the start of your battle phase, if you have 3 or more units with Bloom on your board, you can, this unit gets a crit, and then you can choose one of your units to attack from the back row. So basically this card reads, this unit gets a crit, one of your readers gets on hit draw 1, or all your readers with this unit get on hit draw 1, and then something can attack on the back row. So pretty cool there. For the context of this deck, this card is better Dream Spinning if you can actually accomplish the cost. But obviously there are matchups where your board is getting popped every turn, like Kagero for example, where you can't maintain the full Bloom board, a board of 3 Blooms, because you could just end up having a board full of a bunch of Thurias, and in those situations you go for Dream Spinning instead. But in basically in every situation where you can actually fulfill the requirements of the Ilmatar, you'd realistically want to go to Ilmatar instead of the Dream Spinning, because this card can draw you more cards. She gets a crit as well, so you can comfortably force for the PG better, because you can just go like rear and then ban first, and then the rears can go in after that. So yeah, so this card's pretty good if you can actually fill its requirements. One Inverno. So this card is once per turn, Soul Blast 1. Choose what, like I think like 5 blanks or 5 normal units, and put them back to the deck. And if you do, Soul Charge 1, Counter Charge 1, and then GB2. When a unit is placed on board, you can CV1 and discard 1 card from hand, and then I think like you add 2 Bloom units from deck to hand, something like that. This card, basically what this card reads is 2 PGs. You can call down the Bloom PG. The skill activates, and then you CV1, discard a card, and add 2 Bloom PGs to hand. And then after that, you call a Thuria and bounce this PG back to hand. So the PG you call back to hand. So this card can help you grab a bunch of PGs, but those PGs do get binded on use, so you can't loop them. And I think this first skill here, choose like 5 cards from board or drop, so you need to be aware of what you click. I definitely think, I first definitely remember, I think like the first time I used this card, I like put cards from my board back to deck by accident. So I think this card lets you do that. So yeah, as you can see, I don't know what this card does, or I don't know exactly what the card does. It's just showing that I don't go into this card very often. So this card is there, doesn't come up every game. Doesn't come up in most games actually, but it is an option. And finally, 2 Selfinas. Once per turn, you can flip anything from your unit's face up to give a unit plus 2k. So you could just flip anything, get something 2k, but the actual skill you want is then you can for every face-up copy of itself from your dealing, you can call 1 card from your deck as a same name, something on your rear, and that unit gets boost. And then if you have 2 or more, you call it 2 or more, unit gets a crit. So basically, to simplify this, G flip, choose a unit, give it 2k, call something with something as the same name as one of your rears, and then it gets boost. So yeah, free call, very nice. Again, the line here is the Sunflower Duo, you like call this one, and then with Stride bonus, you call this one, and then with Selfina, you call another grade 3, and then you call another 3 or another copy 3-2 out of hand to proc the second one. So yeah, so that's it for the deck. Some games for you guys after this, as per usual, with some commentary. So I'll see you guys there for now. Peace out for now, I guess. Alright, so first game here, we have a Neo Nectar Mirror. Let's just fast forward a little bit just to so we do get go seconds really nice. So we have this hand with the heal back, you have the Stride Fodder. Drew another heal, unfortunate, but this is where we just try to draw another grade 1 to ride, and then we can search the Ahsha, or ideally we just draw the Ahsha. I do not remember what happened here, so guess we'll see. So this is just the mirror. This is that's another Ahsha mirror. I assume I actually don't remember what this guy's playing. Oh yeah, so we draw another grade 1. See, so we just ride, swing. Not a whole lot you can do early, and then use starter. For sure, I use the starter there to search, and then I whiffed on what I actually want to find. Because the main thing you want to find off of the starter is the grade 3 of the Sunflower Duo. Because if you find the grade 3, because the draw skill part of it is not tied to GV, if you just have a copy of the grade 2 in hand, when you play down the grade 2 will proc. Because the name, because having the grade 3 name also is not not GB locked for the grade 2. If you just draw if you find a grade 3 off of this, you can start drawing as early as turn 2. Turn 2 going second, turn 3 going first. Because the skills are not GB locked, so the main thing you want to find off the Facilius, if you don't have a Thuria already, is the grade 3. And even if you don't have a Thuria, you still might want to consider searching the grade 3 anyways, because again, early draws is really nice. This deck, I do think Neo Nectar's biggest weakness overall is its lack of an early game. And having the Sunflower Duo letting you draw early definitely helps, because you can put cards down and still get the cards back afterwards. So I think that's definitely the strongest point of playing Bloom over, let's say, Lost Memory. Because Lost Memory, your deck is very vanilla before first Stride, but with this, you are... but with the Sunflower Duo, you can definitely do things before Limit Break, so that's very nice there. So yeah. So here, I choose to ride the Thuria, because I already have a Thuria in my hand. And because of the new Ahsha Soul Blast for cost, if I want to dupe, I can just Soul Blast it out and then call it out another Thuria and then just return it back to deck. So because of that, I see no reason to ride the Thuria here. Definitely having the Ahsha gain Soul Blast as a cost is definitely a good thing for this deck in cases like this where you end up riding the Thuria. So yeah, so just ride, swing, pass, definitely not already a good hand because I'm already don't have Stride Fighter, so that really sucks there. My point just rides the old Ahsha. Just fast forward a bit, so he just calls a bunch of stuff. Let's go a little further back. Alright, so he just swings. I take some damage. I did top deck the Stride Fighter off the draw trigger there, so it's pretty cool there. So first stride for this deck is always the Selfina. So here I stride in the Selfina. And this is the line that I've told you guys about earlier. So here I will obviously up the Soul Blast out the Thuria here for obvious reasons. I call the grade 2 part of the Sunflower Duo, and then with this skill, since she has the name of the grade 3, I call the grade 3 off of this. And then here, I use the Audette skill just to clear it off the board, put the Thuria back in the deck so I can draw into it. And then with Selfina skill, I select either or. I think I just select the grade 3. I think I just select the grade 2 here, so I need to get extra draw or get extra power on it. And all is good. So here, yep, you select the grade 2 here. Let's give it some extra power, call down an extra copy of the grade 3. And then the first copy of the grade 3 procs, because this thing has name, you give that card on hit, draw 1. And then here, because I only have one Thuria in hand, I'm pretty sure I just ended up overcalling the Stride Fodder and just had it gliding in front as a double intercept instead. Here I'm pretty sure. And we just move at the front, call the Thuria so that the Thuria can prompt the other grade 3 to give me an extra draw on hit. Yeah, this card prompts so that I get a bit more power, which is cool. And just overcall that for double intercept while keeping the Thuria. Just swing, so rear to rear. And then the swing so that if I flip a stand, I can stand it and draw 2 more cards. It's a draw, but you know, Bloom and Neo Nectar and Young hits really big numbers, so these defensives actually do not matter. Draw 2, and advance swings. And I do flip the stand, so here, by standing this, not only do I get extra damage in, obviously, but with this, I also get to draw 2 more cards because the card draw is not once return or anything. So here, with one stand trigger, I end up drawing 4 cards, which is very, very nice. And both these draws are mandatory, just to keep a note, I guess. Not the best draws, but cards in hand are cards in hand. So Going to a very healthy turn, just drew four. Basically, it's something that lost ring for free, right? But yeah, this just goes to show how strong a stand can be, and that how even without lost memory, this deck can still with this as the draw engine is still, you still have to draw a bunch of cards anyways, even if it is not as efficient as lost memory. So yeah, still pretty good there. My opponent strides into Arborea as their first stride of choice. Just does whatever, does Arborea things. Pushes me to 5, not a whole lot to talk about there. And here, my opponent's at 4. I think that's what I want to stride into. I did draw the stride file, it's very nice there. I go for the Ilmatar, because again, I just want to poke here, and since I do have the full bloom board, I can actually afford to use Ilmatar over Dream Spinning. So there goes the Ilmatar. I think I do use the stride bonus to just get an extra Ahsha, just get an extra Thuria, I think. Just get it out of the deck. I call the Audette just to get cards out of my hand. Or did I call something else? Or I guess I just called another Audette. I guess I just called another Audette. I think here the thought process I just wanted boosters. I think. Then use the Thuria here to put the stand back to my deck. I actually don't know why I called the Audette. I honestly think. Alright, no. I called the Audette because I had too many cards in my hand, so I couldn't bounce both Thurias anyways. I think that's why I ended up calling like this instead. So here, obviously I can't read Japanese, so I just missed the run button. But doing it like this, I can keep the Thuria in the back, and then I can use the Gladi to extend here instead to call down another Thuria over the grade 3 after it swings. It doesn't matter where this goes, and then I use the Ilmatar to give the draw skill to the grade 3 in the front. And I do have 3 units with the bloom, the 2 Audettes and the grade 3. So I will get the back row attack at the start of my battle phase. And something to note here is that the Ilmatar, even though Thuria herself doesn't have bloom, as long as you have the 3 bloom cards on the board to fulfill her requirement, you can give the back row attack to anything. It doesn't have to be a card with bloom. As long as you have 3 units in with bloom keyword on the board, you can give the back row attack to anything. So give to my Thuria, hit, and then grade 3 hit, and then Van first here to check for the PG first. But I think my opponent ended up double heal guarding this, so I think he just ended up dying here. So yeah, flip the stand too, so the grade 3 can hit solo. Power with booster behind it, so I can extend with Gladi after this. He double heal guarded this, and then grade 3 hit solo. Left the stand. No defensive. Draw 1 because I gave the skill to the Ilmatar skill to the grade 3. And then Gladi can call a Thuria here. And both Audettes proc because the Thuria has Audette name. And you scale both columns over a PG now. Making sure this is guaranteed lethal. So power there to beat to scale over extra heal guards and a 6 heal. And then 1 set of power to the right so that I can hit for over a PG. And that's game. That's it for grade 1. Game 1, very fast game. Won't just unfortunately done by PG, but Ilmatar checked for the double heal, and then Audette being the card that lets you scale very well over defensives and 6 heals and the game. Very convincing in the Yaka. So that's it for game 1. Game 2, I think is at the very end of this because I think I just went on a huge ass losing streak after this. So game 2 was I think here if you want to see. I think here I ran into like damage, now Luar, I didn't want to waste my time with this. I think here, I think I ended up misplaying, so, and the guy disconnected, so I just left the game. Here I went first against Grand Blue and just kind of ate a bunch of damage and died. And here I ran into Naru and I lost. I guess I beat Naru too. I guess we can look at this too, just as a different matchup. The other game I was gonna show was another Neo Nectar Mirror where my opponent ended up putting Jingle Power on a front row Thuria and basically lost the game for that. So that's not. I guess we'll go over to Naru game. Granted, this man's deck wasn't exactly the best either. I think he had Vanquisher on stand, but I guess we can look at a different matchup instead. So I guess we'll look at Vanquisher against Vanquisher. I go second. This matchup is obviously not amazing for this deck because oh loyalty, they bind your drop zone. But yeah. Oh yeah, and that grade 3, you definitely never want to hold in Mulligan because you want to call it off of the facility, so you obviously want all of them in your deck. And here I think I just scrolled it up and down because someone asked me what my list was like, so that was the easiest way to check it. So I draw the old Ahsha, but at worst that is still a ride because it's riding with Ahsha doesn't turn the deck off. And here I think I decided just hit face because I'm like, oh, you're gonna buy my stuff anyways. I might just get the damage in now. He hits a defensive heal. I think I did flip the 1 pass here, but I think here after being tilted from losing the games before, I think I completely forgot that the martial arts dragon exists, the card that's the on ride bind. So I just kind of hit face forgetting about that, but this man hits the PG damage anyway, so definitely worked out in my favor anyways. Found the grade 3 off the top, and that is set up for next turn. Set up for my first drive turn now, and if I draw a copy of the grade 2, I can use it later. So he does have this. My Audit dies here, and I think he binded the Ahsha off of this, I think. Yeah, so that dies, kind of sucks. He gets binded immediately. The swings. No whole going on early game. Blink another Ahsha, which really sucks. I actually don't think I actually got to ride this Ahsha this game. Unless I fixed my ride here. Which I think, yeah, I think I decided that was just better to just ride the old Ahsha and call it a day. Because I wasn't going to be able to recycle my stands anyways. Because they're all just going to get blinded. I'm already out too. So yeah, I definitely don't think I saw a reason to search it. And this man, yeah, that was correct. I remember this man's Vanquisher was on stand. Definitely sus. He gets the heal down, which is yikes. You know, bad players never punish, right? So flips the stand. And here, we do the simple thing. Even though I won the other Ahsha, the game plan here is still the same thing. Solfina. Call down. I don't think I called anything with the sharp bonus here, because yeah, you won't hold a 3 for afterwards. Actually, I think here's actually where I made a mistake. I didn't call anything. I should have called the deck down just to put the stride power back into the deck just to recycle it. So definitely a misplay there. It really sucks. And here, since I already had the grade 3 on the board, you need to make sure the thing you call here is the grade 2, because if you call down the grade 3, you'll be forced. This card's skill will be forced to prompt, and you'll be forced to give it to the grade 3, which you do not want to be swinging with anyways. So here, you definitely have to hold the grade 2 here just to make sure that you the card you called actually is the card you want to hit to be drawing with. So Solfina. This is where I call the copy of the grade 3. So just target whatever. I think I just kind of blanked, just kind of target whatever there. So call that down, gets boost. And here is where I think I just like, because I'm like, here's no winner, so I'm just gonna go face 3 times, push to 5. But I think I just let the Thuria in the front row die. Because this makes it a solo attacker, and then this, again, I want to pop that for an extra draw. So here, I think I just said, screw it, I'm just going to let the 3 die, it gets binded. I'm pushing the 5, and then I'll end the game on the next turn. But I do think my opponent flipped the heal here, which really sucks. And obviously, I don't think I'll flip a stand anyway, because I'm already out too. I think this man flipped a heal on his 5th damage, which obviously sucks for me. I lose the Thuria, which obviously sucks, but I think here, I was like, I can't get the Gladiolus to hit solo. If I put this into the back and he had a copy of this grade 1 anyways, it would die regardless. So just because of that, I just decided that it was better to just leave the 30 in the front and just let it die. So obviously sucks there. Just how it goes. This matchup is very bad. This matchup is very winnable, but still very annoying for any Neo-Actor deck to deal with. So yeah, I think here he just goes for whatever, goes for voltage. A very, very low commit turn. I don't know why my opponent didn't put this in the same column as this and just hit me for 2 damage. Obviously, this man probably is not very good at this game, considering Vanquisher is on stand, and he's playing crits with it. So I think I can understand why this man just didn't put that there for whatever reason. I mean, Vanilla's too. Yeah, it just hits me like this. He clears out my board because the Rock Climb also clear that out, and everything just dies. Kind of sucks. And I actually don't remember what I did here. I guess we'll find out now. He binded the Thuria, obviously. At least he was smart enough to do that. I mean, he is at 4. And I just top decked another Thuria, so good for me. I actually don't remember what I did here. I definitely don't think I had the board. I definitely don't think I Ilmitard because I don't have the hand for it. I think I just went for Dream Spinning here, just to guarantee the push, because I do have the odd debts I can scale with. Yeah, just went for Dream Spinning. Nothing I can actually dupe the 3, so I think I ended up calling an Audette here, I think. Just to get double. No, never mind. I ran out of Audettes in deck, right? I completely forgot about that. So I just called a Thuria just to have 2 attackers. Audette. called on the last Thuria. Both the that's proc. And yeah, I think he just went for a push like this. So double resist. So I lose all my Thurias if he chooses to find a way to bind all of them. But that is fine because I'm going for game this turn anyways. That's what, at least that's my thought process here. Going for game, I don't need these Thurias. So rear, and he does hit a defensive, so I do not get 2 PG checks unfortunately. So I'm just gonna swing like this. He doesn't have field guard in hand anyways. I think I get 2 PG checks here. I think he actually did have both. And obviously, even though I only have one stand left in deck, I give it to it anyways. And I did find the last stand, so very nice there. And I flipped 3 triggers. Not that I needed that many. And I think he actually had all 3 PGs in hand. And he did. But this man is already out of PGs and has 1 heal left in his deck. So even though I lose all my Thurias this turn, because I think he does VMAX me, he does not have a out to actually be able to kill me this turn because I have 2 PGs in hand and I'm at 3. But yeah, so in this matchup, as you can see, I just decided to stop thinking and just go face, and it worked out because he took a lot of damage and died. And because this man is very much dead next turn, so gets to the VMAX. And since both my Thurias have resist, he can't pop them anyway, so he just VMAXes, pushes me to 5. I think that's it. I lost 2 PGs, which obviously sucks the damage, but it doesn't matter because he's dead next turn. Even if he killed down, I just go whatever, just find some way to scale and he dies. Yeah, so he pushed the 5, probably like didn't check the crit or a stand or whatever, and scooped it up. So yeah, so that's it for the 2 games. I guess we just quickly go over this. I think I actually lost Skin to Witches because I think I once again went first and just ate a bunch of damage and died. But yeah, here, yeah, as you can see here, I was initially gonna show this game, but I guess we'll just quickly glance over it. My opponent's deck was definitely not the best. He's playing stuff like this, playing Ahsha on draw. And my opponent was also definitely not the best because he put the Jingle Thuria power to the front row here. I guess that's a lesson to be learned here. Do not do this. Put this to the Thuria back here, not the Thuria in the front. So, and hold on. So I just dream spinning, push, and then for whatever reason he didn't stride for like 2 turns, and then he just died anyway. So yeah, honestly, not a whole lot to talk about this. I think this man also just drew like 3 PGs anyways, but he was just delaying the inevitable. He died anyways, so yeah. Yeah. So that's it for this deck. Tell me guys what you think below about this deck down below in the comments. Again, obviously I'm just reinstate this now. I do not think Bloom is the way to play this deck. If you're just trying to win, if you're trying to play the meta Neo Nectar deck, just go play Lost Memory and Jingle Thuria. Just focus on that. So yeah, so that's it for this deck. Yeah, again, tell me guys what you think about this deck down below in the comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.